Good afternoon to all of my Texans and any other place where you may be watching or in this sea area. Yesterday, I think I mentioned that I had come across a reason to not say to my dog, no dice woof woof, when we're walking. And it happened again today. And I don't know whether it's because she's a day or so older. But while we're saying that, I need to say, as usual, good afternoon. And for those of you who are there, please respond and let me know whether you see anything that you like or would like for me to touch on and speak directly to you. Like and comment on it, would you? And again today, my dog and I, as we were walking, rather than the contentious thing that I frequently say to, and I'm calling it contentious because I began to think after her response yesterday that she wasn't the problem, that maybe I was part of the problem because I want to tell her right away that she's a good girl. And but I start off when I get to the beginning of my ramp. As I'm going down, I say to her, now, Missy, the end of this ramp is outside, and my job is to take you outside. But if you DC woof woof, since that's the only language she knows is woof woof, but her way of saying it is rather loud. But if you say it that way, this is outside, and we will go 90 degrees to the right and 90 degrees to the left. Now this right away, I'm assuming she knows 90 degrees. And of course we all know that dogs don't know that, but she does know what the route is. Anyhow, using all of that as a frame of reference, first of all, it's it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, but not the usual beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. It's not cold, but it's around 60 degrees, and it's not breezy like it has been sometimes. And I found on even days when it might be around 55 degrees, when I go by the golf course, that breeze makes it a lot cooler, so that I have had to redefine how far I'm going. But today, I noticed it wasn't breezy, so I said to the dog, I'll take you down to the golf course. We got down to the end of the golf course, and when I got home, I had the most pleasant surprise since it was my birthday a couple of days ago. And I had these beautiful flowers that one of my neighbors that I meet along the way, because everybody is your neighbor, you know that. And we chatted, and once again, I had a place and a chance to see that while I'm telling Missy, no dice woof woof, that the dogs who normally do that, they said woof woof, but it was woof woof, Missy. We're glad to see you. We haven't seen you in a few days, and the last time you were by here, not meaning yesterday, but you didn't, you weren't contentious. You realized that you were in someone else's neighborhood, and you responded to our woof woof. We're glad to see you. And you know, does that does that ever make you think that sometimes when you're out, you go to the market or you go and you're passing someone, and that there are people along the way. Maybe I'm wrong, and I'm not going to respond to that particular thing the way I normally respond to it. But the dogs were not saying woof woof in a loud, attacking way. They were saying, woof woof, Missy, we're glad to see you. Welcome to our neighborhood. Even the three little dogs on the car that passes by, even they were, now they were a little better, but you've got to consider, or I must consider, and there's another point right there. I'll say you have to consider the things I'm talking about. Maybe you don't need to consider stuff like that. Maybe it's not part of your karma. It's not part of the things with which you have a problem. Maybe. And maybe so. But maybe we need to see, as I tell my dog, this is outside. You need to see, or perhaps we should look at, am I part of the problem that I'm addressing off the cuff? Maybe nobody else has that problem. And then I think about my mother. My mother used to say all the time, we were never poor. And when I think back and look at the whole picture and think about sometimes with my youngsters, my family, the times when they're saying, we don't have anything for dinner. And I look at the whole picture. What it is we don't have what I want for dinner. But if you are hungry enough, you don't even have to be hungry, it's time to eat. This is the meal that has been prepared for you. You sit down and you say, first you thank God for providing for you. And then you thank the cook who has gone to great pains many times to make a nice meal for you. And my grandma used to say, hunger makes the dog eat red pepper. And that's really, if you're hungry, you'll eat anything. There's only one thing I've never been that hungry, so I don't know whether I would do it or not. But there's only one thing in this world that I think I would not eat because I'm hungry. And of course, the other thing is, everything has to do with quantity. How hungry am I? If I'm hungry enough, I would eat butter beans. Do you know what butter beans? I don't mean fresh butter beans, you know, the kind you, but the dried butter beans, they're humongous. They might be as big as your thumb sometimes. And someone said, oh yes, they still sell them, but because I go to the market and have a chance to buy whatever it is I'm supposed to buy. But these beans are so big that 4 or 5 of them make a meal. And of course, that's stretching the truth. But again, what Mama said was, hunger makes a monkey eat red pepper. And this is all of the things that is born out of what I told you yesterday, when I came to that part of the curve, where, for what am I responsible for this input here. And Doggy, once again, was a perfect dog. She didn't say anything. She made a soft woof woof when she got to the dogs who are normally, I say the dogs are confrontational, but maybe it's the dogs that are confrontational. Maybe I'm confrontational because it's my dog to whom they're speaking. And I think that they're speaking badly, but it's not my dog at all that's speaking badly. She's reacting to what I do. And herein lies another tale. And I'm not going to tie you up today, but once again, I would ask you if you pick up a part of this, that, where you see any part of what's going on, please make a comment. And please invite me back tomorrow to say hello, because I am really enjoying speaking with you. Because one of the things I've come to find out is that you are part of me. Because back to what Grandma said, God made us all in His image and likeness. So when you look at the mirror, know that you are seeing yourself, part of God, and that you want to do the right thing. And instead of telling someone else, no dice woof woof, you know dice woof woof. Adios. Have a good evening.